It can be anything. And I decided to do something focused on child development because I took this class when I was a sophomore, and I loved it. I think it's so cool. And so I got together with my mentor, who's actually my neighbor, and she lives really close to me, and she works at the Children's Research Institute in Seattle, and she's phenomenally smart and really great, and she's basically knows so much there is to know about brains. And I went to talk to her about this project and what I was kind of thinking about doing, and she had just given a presentation like a month or so ago about the development of facial recognition, and she told me about it, and I said, good, that's what we're doing. Like, I don't even need to hear any more ideas because it's really cool. It's kind of one of those really specific things that you wouldn't think about, but then once you learn about it, it's really easy to see how it applies to your life, and I think it's fascinating. So the way, when I talk about facial recognition, I mean specifically how people are able to see two faces and understand if they have seen it before or if they haven't seen it before. So identifying a face. So you interpret a face, is it familiar, yes or no? And I know that you guys talked with Carolyn Purek.
She actually hasn't come yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So she will come in and she'll do facial cues and emotions and stuff like that, but that's not what mine is about. It's a different field. So I'm talking about just recognition, identifying faces. So if that helps to have that definition. So we're going to start out with a, just have a little worksheet and a little activity. Can you help me? Pass these out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a series of 8 pictures, and you just look at them, and they're going to go pretty fast. You're going to get probably a second to look at each one, so just take it in. And then I'm going to show you another set of pictures that some are going to be different and some are going to be the same. And you have to fill out on the sheet, just circle them really quick, have I seen it or haven't I seen it before. So it's identifying different things. And they're going to go both, I mean it's going to be fast the first time, but it's also going to be fast the second time, so you're going to have to try to circle really quickly. But I'll wait till everybody gets it. We're going to start off first with a bunch of pictures of silver cars. Okay, is anybody like a car person? Okay, good, that's great. Me neither. All right, ready? Everybody have their stuff out. Okay. Ready? So this one, you don't have to write anything just now, just take it in. Okay, so that was the first set. Lauren's nervous because she knows what's coming. I'm going to show you now another set. Some of them are going to be different, so mark down yes or no if you have or haven't seen it before. You ready? Okay, so that was it. So how did that go?
I don't think I did well.
Okay, you don't think you did well? Okay, you messed him up. You think?
Well, some of them I got easily, but then there's like, wait a second, double. Yeah.
Yeah, you're like second guessing yourself. Wasn't sure if you did it. Did anybody have an easy time with it?
I think I did.
Yeah? Okay, so that's good. So we'll go over the answers in a second. We're going to do the second round first. And now we're going to do pictures of faces, human faces. Okay, so we're going to do the same setup.
No sense.
Ready? So that was your first set. Pencils at the ready. Okay, how was that?
It's a lot easier.
A lot easier.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Not for her.
Not for you. Can you see it okay?
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Alright, but that felt easier for everybody? Did anybody feel like that one was hard or harder? Okay. Okay, that's fair, that's fine. Okay, so let's go over, okay, so for the cars, it goes no, yes, no, yes, 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 no, no.
Sweet.
So how many did you guys get right?
2.
Got 7.
You got 2 right?
I got 7.
You got 7, that's good.
Five.
you want me to start
yes,
over?
no. Okay.
Yes, yes, no. Yes, yes. No, no. Yes.
Got 9.
Oh.
You got it. So who got 100%
I'm
of
sorry,
that?
I meant.
That one, yeah.
I meant
Who got
7.
9 out of 10?
I got 7.
You got 7 out
I
of 10?
didn't mean 9. I meant 7.
Okay, so did anybody get 100% on the cars? I don't think they did.
No.
But who got 100% on the faces? Okay. So obviously this goes to show that there's something about faces that we take in a lot better than any other object. And a really good example of this is what kind of how my mentor introduced this topic to me, is that you can walk through an airport and you can walk by someone just briefly and say, oh hey, that kind of looked like Leah, and then you do a double take and go, oh no, that's not her, and then you keep walking, and it's in a matter of seconds. But you can stand at baggage claim and have your suitcase go around 4 times and be like, well, is that my suitcase? Like, I don't know if that's mine or not. I've had it for 4 years, but it looks like all the other ones. Whereas with faces, you can tell the difference so quickly. So with the cars and the faces earlier, I was doing them at the same speed, but most people did better on the faces than they did on the cars, which brings us to kind of the big overarching picture that human faces are the one stimuli that we can recognize and identify better than anything else. There's something about that, and even with changes so if someone's walking past you, even if they're moving, even if they're farther away, closer up, dim room, light room, age, that doesn't really matter because you can tell a face really, really quickly. You can distinguish a face. And I'll go into this later, but scientists argue that this is something that we have from birth, this really heightened sense for facial development, for facial recognition, but it also gets better with experience. So we'll go into that in a second. But first we're going to talk about, so who can sort of explain why this would make sense that humans would be good at faces as opposed to anything else? Yeah?
Because, well, evolutionary, right? If you're like far away, or if you're trying to just say, is this my enemy, is this my friend, you can see him, and you think, oh, that's a person. And then as you get older, you say, oh, that's not just a person, that's my brother.
Yeah, so and you have to be able to do that really quick, friend or enemy, because that's kind of in some cases, especially in way back when, that could be a life or death decision, whether you can tell if that's your friend or if that's your enemy. You got spot on. And also, humans are very social creatures. That's kind of just how we live, and human interaction is a really big part of our lives. And you can kind of imagine, we'll talk about this later, but if you couldn't recognize faces, distinguish faces between two people, that would be socially devastating. It would be really hard to talk to people and to meet with people. Okay, so first we're going to talk about how facial processing works in adult, and then we're going to kind of go backwards and hit the child development part of it. So there are 2 ways that people can process faces, and the first one is piecemeal. This is actually what children do, and by children I mean like up to 9 months, like small people. And so the piecemeal processing is looking at different parts of the face, so identifying someone by their nose or their eyes, looking at it as individual features. Whereas the configurational or gestalt processing, obviously from configurational you know that it deals with the spacing and how your features are arranged on your face.